One thing I know about Metro Detroit is June is for music lovers, and we started that off last month over Memorial Day with the Detroit Electronic Music Festival, otherwise known as Movement, but it will always be DEMP to me. And we're going to continue rocking straight through June, July, and August, and we got a couple of videos coming out showcasing the music that's happening in and around Metro Detroit. We're going to kick this thing off with Rufus Du Sol, performing over the Michigan Lottery Amphitheater, otherwise known as Freedom Hill, on June 2nd. And if you haven't seen Rufus Du Sol, 100% worth going to. He puts on a great show. June 5th, we've got two shows going on. The first is Justin Bieber over at Little Caesars Arena. So if you've got Bieber fever, and I do not, go to Little Caesars Arena. I do not. You're actually gonna find me over at the Token Lounge listening to Steve Adler from Guns N' Roses perform Guns N' Roses classics. That sounds so much more rockin'. So much more fun. June 6th at Pine Knob, we've got Robert Plant and Alison Krauss coming, and according to Setlist FM, they will not be playing a ton of Led Zeppelin music, but they will be playing a little bit of it. So if you're expecting a huge Zeppelin set list, I don't want to set the wrong expectations. You'll probably only hear 3 or 4 of the classics and the greats, and that's about it. But they've got their own set list and amazing music that they've comprised over the last decade. You will not be disappointed. June 7th, flashback for me, we've got Atreyu coming to the Fillmore, and on June 8th, we've got REO Speedwagon and Styx, and that is a true blast from the past. These guys put on a great show. I've actually seen REO Speedwagon and Styx before independently, and they rock. It's all the music I grew up when I was driving in the backseat of my mom's, God, what was that, a Chevette? Is that what we used to drive? Chevette, is that right? That's right. Mom, Dad, help me out here. But I remember those summer days with the windows down, driving around in that or a minivan or whatever we were driving around in at the time, rocking to REO Speedwagon and of course Styx. So memories, guys. I'll be at that show. On June 10th, we don't have one, we have 2 shows going on, which this is gonna be a hard one for me to actually decipher between. The first one is Bastille over at the Meadowbrook Amphitheater, and then the second one is the Lumineers over at Pine Knob. So this is what makes it hard for me. I've seen the Lumineers a couple of times, I've seen Bastille a couple of times. I do enjoy both music. I will tend towards the Lumineers a little more because, especially on like a summer night, I like to be chill. But I really like Meadowbrook as a venue. It's a little smaller, it's a little more intimate. They're both very similar amphitheaters, but they're both very different as far as capacity and feel goes. I've also seen the Lumineers at Meadowbrook a couple years ago. That was actually a delight. And if you've got an RV, you probably just want to stay at Pine Knob because June 14th and June 15th, we've got 2 amazing shows at Pine Knob. First, we've got Matchbox 20. Hello, hello, hello. The guys that did that song. I don't remember how the rest of the words go, but I've seen Matchbox 20 a couple of times. These guys bring a lot of energy to the stage, and stay overnight to June 15th. This is a really cool double feature. We've got both Tears for Fears and Garbage. A little bit of 80s, a little bit of 90s. Can I even believe? Can I even believe? Okay, and if you want a little bit of a refresher for Tears for Fears, check out the Jake Gyllenhaal movie, Donnie Darko is the one with the kind of creepy bunny. A lot of Tears for Fears remakes in that, and actually what they did was they took the Tears for Fears music, the original, and they actually sped it up just a little bit. It actually came out really nice, really nice. I hope they do the same. Here's a guy I know next to nothing about, but I know he's a big name, Josh Groban, June 17th at Pine Knob. If I happen to have an RV in June, I will actually be pulling out of the parking lot on June 16th so as not to hear him. So June 18th, Pine Knob, we've got 2 very different bands playing. We've got Steely Dan and Snarky Puppy. So Steely Dan, again, throwback to the olden days when I was a youth, like 5 years old. Snarky Puppy is like a techno fusion pop. No idea what it is. I'm grabbing at straws on this one. No idea who they are, but they're playing with Steely Dan. So watch the one and then watch the other. Coming back to Pine Knob on June 21st from the mid 90s to early 2000s, this band, I think everybody can recognize their music, is Dave Matthews Band. They do put on a great live show. I think I've seen them maybe a dozen times. I will definitely be seeing them on 21st. I will probably have close to front row tickets because I still love Dave Matthews. I've been told by others that they are overplayed and one of the most overplayed bands of the 90s. I really don't care. I still love them. So I will be there. And thank you, Dave, for still performing.
Crazy how it feels tonight.
And speaking of music from my generation, on June 24th at Little Caesars Arena, we've got New Kids on the Block. 100% going to this show. I was actually listening to New Kids on the Block when I was on a run the other day. It's one of my running bands that I listen to. It gets me going, keeps me pumped up. I am not going to sing it, but I will be there on June 24th. And last and definitely least on this list, we've got Brooks and Dunn on June 25th coming to Pine Knob. I want to make sure we mention this for the 2 people in Metro Detroit that like country music, as the rest of the there's actually 4.2 million people in Metro Detroit, and it surprises me that there are 2, I think there might be 3 people in the entirety of the 5 counties. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. I am personally not a country music fan, but I'm still gonna put it in there, you know, for the people. So June 25th, Brooks and Dunn, Pine Knob. I will not be there. Tell me how it is. And that is your music set list for June 2022. Some not to be missed shows, some definitely to be missed shows. Just a plethora of great music and not so great music. I'm gonna put that in there, June 25th mainly. But again, if you're considering buying a home, considering selling a home, we'd be honored to have the opportunity to speak with you and interview to be your real estate agent of choice. Thank you again, everyone, and make it a great day.